Things I wish I knew. So this is a pretty interesting question for me, actually. I think a lot of people would have some stories about, oh, the long hours or the... But I have had a pretty good story, actually, so far. It's been surprisingly good for me. The business is going surprisingly well. I enjoy the work surprisingly well, considering this fine balance between passion and work. So I'm Fredrik Spåre. I'm a Swedish full-time knife maker. I've been doing this for a couple of years, and previously I was a hobbyist. And I am a strong believer in listening to other people's advice. People have experience, and people have done most of the mistakes for you already. So you can always ask them if you're worried about something. But overall, don't lose any sleep over it. Previously, when I did cooking and I was a chef, I actually more or less burned out on it because I did it too much. No, so it's actually been surprisingly good. I wish I knew that, because then I probably would have gone ahead with it earlier, I would say. But I mean, the opportunities that I took, like for instance this workshop, it wasn't available until at a certain time. If I wasn't here, if it was in a industrial area, for instance, I mean this is an old industrial area, but it's more like a touristy part of very nice views. I mean, I enjoy this part so much, so if I would have been in an industrial area, I would have probably felt a lot more miserable. And so that's not something I wish I knew before, because it hasn't bitten me in the ass, so to speak. But it's something I wish I would have known, because then I would have known what to look for, more or less. So make sure that I felt good, you know? I wanna feel at home when I'm here. And I do now, so that's awesome. I probably should have just bought one air hammer, one really good air hammer to start with, instead of like being on my fourth hammer now. So I have two, and it's cost a lot of money, a lot of headache, a lot of hard work, because moving around hammers is not an easy task. So that's something I've wasted a lot of money and time and effort on. So buy big at the start, I guess, but also not to worry too much about. I've had a lot of sleepless nights worrying about what steels I want to continue working with. It's like, find a steel that you want to work with and work with it. If you feel like you want to do all stainless, do that. If you want to do all German tool steel, do that. Don't lose any sleep over it, because I lost a lot of sleep over it. I lost a lot of sleep over different things that are not at all important, but it's important for me. But it wasn't important at all for the business. If you have your budget in order, everything like set up, so you know that according to your calculations you will survive, and try and enjoy it instead of worrying too much about stupid stuff. And don't buy machines that you don't need. And don't buy two of the same machine that you don't need. For instance, my grinders, I have 4 grinders of 4 different brands. The tool arms are not interchangeable on all of them, but on some, limiting me in some areas and giving me options in others, of course. But so one thing to actually take into consideration is if I were to do it all over again, I would buy 4 of the same grinder and have 1 set of tool arms and just have everything interchangeable. It's easier in all aspects of it. That is something I actually regretting, and one of the things that is itching me at the moment. I've even considered selling all my grinders, no, not all of them, but some of them, and buying just all the same brand. So one mistake I've done several times is I've bought like the entry level of a certain machine, for instance. So I bought like a semi-cheap grinder, and then after a while I realized, oh fuck, I should have just bought the good one at first. I bought like, yeah, so don't skimp on tools. Buy the good tools, they will last you much longer. Drill bits are one thing, for instance. Buy good drill bits, otherwise you'll just keep buying new ones. And don't cheap out on buying the cheap stuff. Buy the quality stuff instead.
Speaking of quality, today's video was brought to you by a handful of knife suppliers and services. KnifeMaterial.at, who offers rounding hammers and the axe wax for your knives. Clark Knives, who offer professional heat treatment services and sell British-made Damascus billets. I suggest you also check out the 84 engineering belt grinders supplied by Multitool Products Europe. Multitool products offer a great range of high-quality belt grinders that are fully adjustable, so it's great for both seasoned bladesmiths or hobbyist makers like myself. You'll see the difference in every project. Cuts are precise and meticulously shaped. We spend most of our time on a belt grinder than we would do really with forging, so I really suggest you invest in a good companion that mirrors your passion and your dedication to knife making. And best of all, Multitool products offer a 15% off on the abrasive belts for life. Check out their website for other things like the Rhino wet sheets, even heat kilns, and the Multitool lineage itself. All the links are in the description. Thank you to all our sponsors for making this video possible.
Yeah, but I've done that quite a lot, you know, buy the cheap stuff and then realize, fuck, I just wasted a lot of money. And then I buy the good stuff, and the bad stuff, I don't get my money back. It just sits there or I throw it away because you can't sell it, no one wants it. I've had like 3 or 4 bandsaws and just upgraded every time because I realized how crap they were. No one wants it. They know it's a bad quality product. So it's like, just throw it in the garbage. So I've thrown away like thousands of euro just on bad tools and bad machines. So that is something I regret doing. But on the other hand, I had to learn somehow. No one told me not to do it, or maybe they did, but I didn't listen. I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna watch this video later on and take my own advice, or at least try to. But I'm a big fan of listening to other people's advice. So.
That was very different from the usual videos, but hopefully you still found it valuable. If you want to watch a similar topic, check out this video over here. See you in the next one.